thankful that you've taken time out of your busy day for this hour. I mean, it's a lot. And especially to take time to really train yourself on Travefy, or if this is your first time seeing Travefy, it's so cool. And we're really excited for this webinar. A couple things I will note though, is first of all, who's on this from Travefy team. So there's Scott, there's me,
hey!
it's us. And then, but it's also really fun. We brought Bonnie in from our team too. So she's in the back end. So she's going to be helping us answer questions. So these webinars we're taking them to the next level. We're bringing more Travefy team members in. So we're like, we need to be able to answer all these questions that come in. So that's why we have her in there. So if you get a message back from Bonnie, she's back there working hard.
Bringing in the big guns. Watch out.
Yes, absolutely. So really cool that we're able to do that. But the other thing to note, really important, this always gets asked, is this being recorded? Yes. So we totally get it. If you have to hop off, or, if you have a colleague who wanted to join, but they weren't able to, no worries. We got you. And so actually, if you registered for the webinar, you will get a recording, but also we'll put it on our YouTube channel as quick as we can. So usually it'll just take a couple hours sometimes, but we will share it. So it'll be up by the end of this day, and you'll be able to watch it or go back to it, because I bet you're going to want to do that on some of these, because it's really good. I'm telling you, this will be a good webinar. So what we're actually going to do today. So, well, first of all, I do want to start off with just like an overview of Travefy, but also an overview of Pages, which is our website builder, landing page builder. Because for some of you who are Travefy users, you might have noticed that there's been a little change with it. It actually moved somewhere different. So I'm going to point that out. I'm going to show you where you can access it, like what is it, why should you use it, all that good stuff. And then I'm going to show you some examples. So you'll first get to see. So that way, really, hopefully it brings in a big picture of like what you can do with this and how you can market yourself and trips using this amazing, powerful tool. And then we're actually going to create one together. So I have one, and I want to just show you, just do a demo of how it actually works and see it in action. And then of course, there's going to be so many tips and tricks along the way and ideas, all that good stuff. And then at the end, hopefully we have time for Q&A. So if you do have questions at any point throughout this whole webinar, just go ahead and use that Q&A panel. And again, we have Bonnie back there helping. Scott's also going to be pulling some questions. So ask your questions in there. And then hopefully at the end, I'll have time for a few questions that we can answer. But of course, we do have our support team, ready to go as well. So you can always chat us in your account live. You can send us an email just at professional@travefy.com. We also have so many trainings on demand, lots of things. So never feel this whole time like you're like, oh my gosh, I need more help. We are here for you. So it's okay. So we will help you out. And then the last thing, we have a little bit of a contest for you all, but stay tuned. I'll share it at the end, but
a lot of suspense. I like it.
I know, got to have a little suspense here.
We'll just give a little tease. If you're good at building landing pages, or you've built some stellar landing pages to market trips, you will want to stick around to the end of the webinar. So hang in there.
Yes, that is good. Thank you for that tease. That's perfect. So yes, definitely stick around. It's going to be fun. Now, jumping in here, a thing that I always like to start with. So before I get into like the website, landing pages, I always like to show just everything that's possible with Travefy, just so you know, if you are new to Travefy, or even if you're not, sometimes a lot of users completely miss some of these things that they might have came out while you had already been a user and you just didn't notice it yet. But we have a lot of tools built into Travefy, and it's all in one. So if you have a Travefy subscription, you have access to all of these. So of course you've got the itinerary and the proposal builder. Now we're going to a little bit use it today, but I'm not going to go really in depth with it. But we will be using it. You'll get to see how you can use the itinerary builder and how it interacts with the pages, which is really cool. And then we also have contacts, which is our CRM, and there's tasks in there so you can set up tasks and reminders. I am going to go in there just for a very little brief moment later, but it's a great opportunity to organize your client information and save it in there. So when they do come in, from these websites, these marketing pages, you're able to collect that information and keep it organized in that one place. But then also what works with those is forms. You can create a form to collect any type of information. And we're going to talk about that today as well, because that can interact with the website builder. And so when you're building these landing pages, you can actually put a form in there, and that's the action they take, is filling that form out. So super cool. And then we also have the ability to do credit card authorization with the form, and still pretty new, invoicing. Woo. It's so crazy. Still, it's so new, but we're going to touch on those too. So I will talk about those as well. And then of course, our beloved website and landing page builder, which we are going to get to spend the most time on, which I'm super thrilled about because it is one of my absolute favorite things ever. Now I'm going to note something. If you've been a Travefy user, you hear us say website builder, landing pages. I'm going to get into the difference, but I'm just going to start calling them pages for short. So when you hear me refer to pages, that's what I'm referring to is the website and landing page builder. And this will make more sense once I start going through. You'll see that's how it's labeled in there. So all that good stuff. But actually, let me just take you in there now. So I want to show you something here. So again, if you've been a user, you might notice something here that the website builder, the landing page builder is actually just right up here, and it's called pages. So that's what this is now. Now, let me take a step back here. So what is a landing page, and why would you want to use this? Well, first of all, of course, you can use Travefy's website builder as your main website. There's a lot of people who will. It's because, it's really simple to use, and you'll see that today. But if you already have a website, that's okay. You can use this for pure marketing purposes, and for using them. And that's what we're focusing on today, is how you can just create these landing pages, which a landing page, if you've ever heard that term, is just really a simple, single, standalone web page that has pretty much one purpose usually, where it might just to market something, promote a trip, promote a service. And then there's just these standalone pages that you then can share with clients, or you put it on social media, all kinds of things you can do with it, or you can link it back to your main website. So that's why we call them pages, because sometimes they're not getting linked to, back to your website. They're just a single standalone page. So that's the really important. And the other thing too is, like, a lot of times people are like, well, why should I do that? Is it an itinerary? What if I just create that? Which that's still really great. But the cool thing about building a landing page is the biggest thing, it's totally setting you apart. It is making you look like just super professional, really just taking you to the next level. And then the biggest thing is it's very easy to create. So these are really easy. And you're going to see that here today, that you'll see how easy it is just to create these. Now, let me show you a couple examples. So I want to give you kind of like a high level, big picture here. So I mentioned, different ideas and ways that you can use it to, promote trips. Sometimes people might use it as like a wedding. So this is one of my favorite examples and I'll put all of these in the chat as well here, so you can open these up on your own and see them. But here's one example of, like if you do weddings or groups. So this could also be easily a group landing page, where if you're putting together, trip for a group, you can have all the information, you can customize everything. And then you can have like an example of the itinerary. And then of course you have that form down here at the bottom, which again, we're going to go further into this, but that's one example. Another is like, let's say you want to promote like a river cruise. So here you go. Here's a river cruise example too. Really simple, just kind of showing things. You can see all this really easy stuff. Another one that I have is like Los Cabos. So if you're just, promoting, maybe you just want to focus on like one resort, maybe you did a fam trip and you went here and you have so much content. Why not just build a landing page that supports it, and have this so you can easily be like, I have the perfect place for you. I'm going to send you all the information. And that's what this is. Just think about how awesome that is. Now, here's that one. the Yellowstone that I was mentioning. This was my little fun. One day I was just like going crazy and building all kinds of different landing pages, and this was one. I was like, I need to build one for Yellowstone. So you can just see, like, again, it's just promoting a destination. So as you can see, you can use this for everything, like no matter what it is, for a specific group, something you're trying to promote, a cruise, a just destination, just a resort. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can use this. So what I want to do today is I want to show you, I'm going to build one with you, so you can see how I create it in here and how it works and how simple it is. And then we're also going to talk about, after that, we're going to talk about, okay, what are the next steps after using this marketing page? Like, how do you promote it? You know, how are you going to do all that stuff? And so we're going to get into all of it. So, which is really cool. Now, getting into this, how I'm going to go to create a page. All you do is you come in your account and then you click. And then this brings you in. Now, I've already started creating websites or landing pages in here. If it's your first time, you're actually going to see this this different image than what it looks like for me, where you can see the different themes. So we have 4 different themes available for you. You can see them here. We have different themes here, and you can always flip back and forth. So when you first do come into that screen, you're able to, change it. So you're not stuck with it, which is really great, because sometimes you do get stuck with them. You're like, oh, you chose your theme. You can't change it now. Like, you can change your theme. So that's a cool thing. And you can basically just pick the theme that's going to be closest either to your brand or look the best of what you're trying to convey, whatever one you want. You're also able to choose like a theme color here, so you can set that up as well. So you can do all kinds of things in there. Now, another thing that's really important to note here is that when you come in here and then you go ahead and pick your theme, it'll start looking like what I have on my screen now. And then right up here at the top, see how it's just like that little button where I have these, and now I have, these are my pages. So these are all your different pages. So you can see I've built, here's that Yellowstone one. You can see all of them in here. And so then you can always create new ones. Now, here's one of the coolest things about all of this is you can create as many pages as you want. So that's one thing that I think is so amazing, that you can create as many as you want in here. And then again, remember, they have their own single URL. So you can create a page just for Yellowstone, and you have a link that just goes to this page. So hopefully that makes sense of like how you can do that. But again, you can create as many pages in here as you want, which is cool. Now, I'm going to go to one that I've already started building. I kind of did a couple steps ahead just to save time here, but I wanted to create a page with you here today. And the example is just an all-inclusive Cancun resort. So I'm taking that as the example, as just promoting Cancun, just a destination. So what I did is I went ahead and I already clicked this create new page. I chose my theme. So I went ahead and chose the Azure theme on this one. And then I put my theme color there. So it's really cool. I know one thing I've heard from users is how awesome it is that even though someone might be using the same theme as you, your landing page will still look so much different, because there's so much customization that you can do by choosing those different theme colors, all that, and putting your logo in here. Your logo, you can just go ahead and drop right in. So you can put that in there as well. All kinds of stuff, ways to customize that. Now, one of the most important parts about this is you're probably wondering, okay, so now how do I get it to look like this? How do I have, I chose like these photos and these different things. Well, what these are, they're called elements. So when you are, and that's, if you've heard us say drag and drop website builder, that's what we mean. They're all elements that you're picking and you're just dragging it in and you can rearrange it. It's super simple. Now, how this works is up at the top here, you click new element, top right-hand corner here, click new element. You'll see all of the different elements that we have. So there's an element for anything you need. So whether you're putting like reviews from clients, maybe you choose the medium card gallery for that. Or maybe you want to do like an about the team, you do a medium card gallery, or you just have photos, you choose carousel. There's all different elements that's going to support the type of item that you want to include or add. Now, when you're adding these, all you do is you are simply dragging and dropping them right in. So I'm going to pull this, it's called a right A side element right here. So I'm just clicking it and now I'm just dragging it over where I want it to go. And now you can see that it went ahead and it's dropped in here. Now, when you're ready to edit one of these, one of the elements in there, let me just add that again because I didn't click the save button. So let me do that. And then I'm going to click save. Now, this is what it'll look like. And when you want to edit one of those elements, it's really easy. You just click on it. Just click anywhere within that whole element there. And then over here on the right-hand side is where you start editing it. So it's great because you can see on the left-hand side what it's looking like. And then you also can, do all of your editing on the right-hand side. So let's add one here together so you can see what this looks like. So the first thing that I want to do, because again, I'm just creating a simple landing page that's promoting Cancun. So a couple things that I've intentionally added in here was first, let me get your attention and escape to paradise. So I put this wording in here. I chose a really cool photo just as the top. And again, you don't have to have it looking like this, but I just thought it was a great way just to like make it pretty and grab that attention. The second thing that I added is I wanted to put in just some really high level information of what I can help with. So I put in here, like this place is amazing. Here's everything I help with. I can book for you, all that stuff. So then my plan is that I want to go into more detail on some of this. So right down here, I'm going to use this area to talk and highlight excursions, like tours and excursions, because that's a big part of what's really going to set this apart is that if you book with me, I can get you access to some good, fun stuff. So what I can do is I am going to just change this heading here. So I'm going to put unforgettable tours and excursions. And then I'm going to put a subheading. You don't have to put subheadings in here, but I just think it's cool to say like, oh, these tours and excursions, like perfect day is, waiting for you. Now, the other thing that I want to do here is I am going to use this description area to put in some more information. Now, this description here is really great because this area, you can, of course, put text like I'm doing, but you can do other things. Like if you ever want to, put links in here, you can, or if you want to put different formatting, you can do all of that as well. So you can see everything, again, I'm just copy and pasting this because I had it before, but this is where you can put all that good stuff in there. Now, this is another one of my favorite things is, of course, that's going to really set this apart is going to be those photos. And what's really awesome is you can put photos and videos in here. So you could put a video right in here if you have one, which I've seen people do, and it looks so incredible. It's you literally just copy and paste YouTube or Vimeo link in there. So if you ever want to upload your own video, you can put it in your YouTube channel, and you can actually just put it as like unlisted if you just made it just for this landing page. And then you can come in and then you can just paste it in. And then that way that video will just live on the side where that spot is. So it's super awesome. Now, another thing when you're adding photos, you can, of course, if you want to upload your own, pull from a website, you can do that. But one of my favorite tips is honestly, Travefy's database of photos are so perfect for pages because all of these photos are high quality and large. So no matter what screen somebody's viewing this on, whether they're on their phone or computer, like giant screen, small screen, it's always going to look really good. So that's one thing that I really like about this. So to show you an example, I'm going to type in Cancun and I'm just going to click search here. Now I'm going to get access again. These are all the free stock photo images that I can use. And I'm going to put in this photo right here, down here at the bottom. Now, one pro tip that I'll share, because this is a big one when you're doing a website, because sometimes the way that we need to fit it, sometimes it'll take like certain parts of the picture. So one thing that you can do, you can click edit right here. And then you can actually drag this around and to show what you actually want. So what you can do is you can go ahead and see how I just kind of move this around a little bit. I'm going to say edit, keep edits. And then I'm just going to save it. So now you can see it kind of zoomed in a little bit for me, so I can just get that main part of the picture that I wanted. So that's a big one. Now, another thing here too is I'm going to put an FAQ in this chat because the photos is a big one where you're going to have to find different sizing because again, you want to be like a perfect, good, high quality, large. But depending on which element you're using, those photos are going to have different dimensions. So this FAQ, I would bookmark that FAQ and save that because it's going to be really helpful to see when you are uploading your own images to know what image is going to fit that whatever element best in there. So that's all I'm going to do. So I'm just going to say save. And there we go. So now we have this brand new section, this element that we just added. Now, one thing, you can always preview it as you're going along. So if you ever want to be like, what is this looking like? If someone actually, if they were coming here, and you can scroll down and you can see. So here's what we just added. You can see it looks really nice right in there. You can also view it on mobile, which I really like because a lot of times mobile's what they're viewing. A lot of us are on our phones and that's the easiest way sometimes. So you can still view and see, like, make sure that, oh yeah, this is still looking good even when it's on mobile there too. So that's one element. So hopefully that makes sense, with that element in there. But I want to add two more things in here together. So again, you can see really what's possible in here and how this interacts with other parts of Travefy. Now, one of those is if you're thinking a light bulb's going off and you're like, wait, can I create an itinerary and link it in here? And yes, you can. So you can use that for your marketing to show, either an example itinerary or, whatever it might be. So let me show you how this would work. So what you're going to do is you are going to click the new element button, top right-hand corner again. And then I'm going to choose the trip gallery. So see this one right here. So I'm going to, again, drag and drop. And there it is. Now, here's where it gets cool. So I've seen lots of users do this where they will put in different itinerary examples. So if you have like a ton of different itineraries, you want to put those in there. Great way to do that because there's an unlimited amount of cards. That's what we call them, as cards. So you can have as many cards. You can have 20 of them in there, all linking back to different itineraries. So it's up to you what you have. But I'm actually going to only do one itinerary in here. So I'm going to delete these two cards from here because I don't need those. So I'm just going to leave it to this one card. Now, how I actually import a trip that I've created in Travefy, what you're going to do is you're just going to simply click this pencil icon over here. So if you click that pencil icon, you can see this is where you can start adding all the information, but it's actually easier than having to manually add everything. I can actually just go ahead and import this and it'll add all the information for me. So let me show you what I mean here. So if I go down to the bottom, I'm going to click import from library. Now I'm going to choose trip. And then in here, I can choose Cancun vacation. Now, I created this before, so that's why that's already there. So you're going to see which trips you've created so far in here. And then I'm just going to click that. And now you can see here, it went ahead and brought it in. It brought in like the photo and the title. But I could add something different if I want. If I want to change the description, change the photo, I can do all of that without changing that actual itinerary. You can also, I like this badge area. This is really cool. If you ever want to put like, pricing starting at, whatever it might be, or if you just want to say dates, or sometimes I just like to do like booking now. It just is like a little call out. So it's just kind of fun that you have that badge there. But otherwise, that's all you do. You just click save and then click save again. And then here is where the mind-blowing part is when you preview this, you can see what this is going to look like. I'm going to scroll down. Okay, here it is right here. Now, when I click view trip, now if you're a Travefy user, this is probably very familiar to you. You're like, that's an itinerary. But something that you'll notice that's different on here is up at the top, do you notice how it says contact? So instead of giving them options to like get a PDF or an app, which wouldn't make sense in this case, it actually is contact. So it's really amazing because then it's just, it's once again another driver to get to you. It's a call to action. It's oh my gosh, I want to book this. I'm going to contact them now. And when they use this, you're just going to receive an email letting you know that they've reached out and then you can follow up with them. But otherwise, look at how great it is. And very easy, very simple stuff in there. So that's one thing that I think is just amazing since you are using, Travefy, that you can actually pull those itineraries in. Now, one thing I did want to add a heading here. So I'm just going to say stunning all, oops, there we go, all inclusive resorts. So just to put something in there so you can see that in there. So it's really cool, so easy. So very easy to do right in there. Voila. Now there's one last thing that I want to do here. The last thing I want to do is down here at the bottom. You can see where there is we call it a call to action. So basically, whenever you create a page, you definitely want something to happen. You want to get their information. You want to entice them. So what we always recommend is putting a call to action. You can put it anywhere within this whole page. You can put it multiple times. But one that I like to use is literally just putting at the bottom here the call to action element, which if you click the new element button, you'll see it down here. You'll see, oh, actually it's further up here. It's right at the top there. The call to action that you can just go ahead and add in. And it's really cool because you can add a photo and then you can put a heading and all that good stuff. Now, one thing you can do though, here, let me remove this so I can start from the beginning, as you can click add a button. So I'm going to add a button. And then in here, the button type you can choose. If you want this to go straight to your email or, go somewhere else, you can. So you can always add a button anywhere in this landing page to, direct them somewhere. But one thing is, if you remember at the beginning, I was talking about how Travefy has forms. So you can create forms to collect information. So what you can do is you can create a form to use for this specific page to get information or for them to fill out. And then it contacts, or, it's reaching out to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and click form. Now I'm going to put here, I'm going to change the button to say get started. Now you can import forms from Travefy. So if you've already created forms, you can do that. And those are in your library where you can create those. But I'm actually going to create a new one. You can just create a new one right from here just to show you what this looks like. And you can actually come in here and I'm just going to say form example for page. I'll say Cancun. And then you can just add new questions in here. We do have templates. So if you actually just want to use one of these templates or start with that, it's really easy. So I'm just going to say new trip. And then in here, you can see the questions. They're just very basic questions like the name, email, how you get a hold of them. But basically what you do is you're just typing out the question, if you need to add any additional text, and then you can choose, what is the response that you're looking for? And is it, is this going to be a required question? And that's all you do. So it's really simple. And then you can just add new questions. You can also add just texts and images if you want to put that like at the top, whatever it might be. So there's a lot that you can do in there, but very simple. So I'm just going to go ahead and click done. And then I'm going to save that. Now, this is where it gets really cool. Let's publish this bad boy and see what it looks like. So this is one of the most important things. I always forget to mention this, and I do it myself, is truly just forgetting to publish it. So this isn't accessible yet because I haven't published it. But now that I'm going to click this green button at the top, publish, now it is out there and I have a link that I can actually share for this now. So you can get that link over here. So I actually did, I put tropical dash vacation as the page slug. So fun fact of the day, if you've never heard the term page slug, now you know what it is. It's basically the words that come after the URL. So like my URL, my domain is travelissastravel.com, and then it's / tropical dash vacation is how you get to this now. So I can grab this link and I'm just going to pop it in my bar so you can see. And here it is. This is what we just created. You can see I have those elements. There's the one that we added together. I have that itinerary that can be viewed. I also put, this is a good tip. This is, we put a little blurb about trip insurance just to kind of like call that out, be like, you should, this is like, we have the best trip insurance and you can plan with ease, so I added that in there too. Now I accidentally left 2 buttons in there, so I will fix that. But basically now I have this button at the here that takes me to that form. Now notice how this form just stays in that window. That's why I think this is really nice because again, and if you're looking at this on your phone, it's just staying there. It's very easy to, for them to fill it out and then just be done. And then you get notified once it's been filled out, and then you start going into your next steps, which I will talk about here. But as you can see, it's just a very simple, and there's a lot that you can do. As I showed in these different examples here, there's so much different ways you can create something that looks the way you want it to. Now, one thing that I just want to point out, we won't have enough time to go really far into this. So let our team know if you have questions and we can help you out. But I was mentioning about this domain. This domain, like my domain is travelistastravel.com. And that is my domain. So if you have a domain that you purchased, so like say like from GoDaddy or Google or Wix, wherever it might be, you can actually go ahead and set up your domain with Travefy absolutely for free. Now, how you do that is it's in your account settings, and it's actually pretty easy and quick to do. But I will say we totally understand that, many of us do not spend time dealing with domain things and working with that kind of stuff. So our support team can actually help you out. If you want to live chat us in there, sometimes we can do it if you send us a screenshot of what your domain setting, your DNS panel is actually what it's called. Or you can also schedule a training with us and we can do, a screen share on Zoom and help you get that set up. But that's one way that's really going to set it apart. And the other cool thing is if you do have a domain already, like if you already have a website, you can still link that domain to Travefy and you do what's called a subdomain. So it's trips.yourdomain.com. So you can still have that really great branding experience in these pages that you create. So definitely, again, let us know if we can help with that, but know that you can do that and it's totally free in Travefy. Now, a couple things too that I wanted to talk about is that we also have this SEO area. So there is built-in SEO. So this is going to help you get found. So search engine optimization. I won't go into it in depth, but we do have an FAQ that I'm going to share that's really great about talking about this. But this is really great that if you are building these for marketing, that you want, it's not for specific group of people. It's for, you're trying to get all attention wherever. This is great to use that SEO area to get found. Another thing, we also do have analytics available for you to use. So you can come into your settings and you can set up your Google Analytics, Metapixel Analytics, if you have that. So it's only if you do. Otherwise, no worries. If not, you can just leave that alone. But if you do like to see the analytics, we do have that available to you. And then the last thing too, and this is one of the most things that I really need to make sure I always say because it's game changing, is the simple fact that you can copy these. So if you ever build a landing page, you can copy them. So if you build one, you can actually copy any page that you have created just by coming into the edit, into the settings and clicking this little copy button next to the save button. And that's all you do and it copies it. I think that's kind of game changing because you build it one time and then you can just start reusing that as a template for the future, which is really cool. Now, a couple more things I want to talk about, and then I'll get into Q&A. And I know someone had asked about this is, okay, how do you actually put this like on Facebook or promote this? So it's so easy. How you share it is literally that URL link. So this URL link, you just grab, and then you can go ahead and just copy and paste it right into, if you're creating a post on Facebook, you just post it in. And actually, in fact, I'm going to post this right now so you can see that link that I'm talking about. So there that is. And since you're going to be viewing this, let me make this pretty. There we go. Let me save that. So now what's really great is you just drop that link, you can share it in a Facebook group on Facebook, put it in your bios and social media, put it in your email marketing, wherever, anywhere. And again, if you have your own website, link it back there, all kinds of things, all different ways that you can do that. Now, one thing that I also want to talk about though is let's say, okay, you do put it out there. It's out there. People are getting interested. So now what? Now what do you do? What are the next steps? So now I'm going to take you to the other parts of Travefy to show you how you turn this into a complete workflow. So once I have this out there, I have this now, and I'm starting to get some people, I'm getting people interested in booking with me to go to Cancun. So what I'm doing is they're coming from that form. So they're filling out that form. So once they fill that form out, again, I'm getting notified via email, and then I can then come into Travefy. I can look at the form responses in the library where my form is. So I have this one right here, actually. and you can see responses. So again, you're getting notified, but then you can also just come in here and see those responses. And from here, you can either, you can download them, you can see what the response looks like, all that good stuff. But here's what I really love is that you can actually start assigning this as a contact in your CRM with Travefy. And then I will show you why this is really important to do, because let's say I just got this new inquiry right here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click assign to new contact, because this person I've never spoken with before. So they don't live in my contacts yet. So I'm going to say assign to contact, create and assign. And there she is. Now I have Veronica Jones in here now. And so it's all I'm doing. So I literally just assigned it. It created this. And this is what it looks like in our CRM, by the way. You can do all kinds of things like make notes. I can put a description, be like, this person came from the Cancun page, whatever it might be. You can add all kinds of things in here. Now, the next thing you might want to do once you add a contact is you want to send them a proposal. You want to get, whatever your next step would be, consultation call, whatever it might be. You can even set up tasks so you can remind. So maybe I got this like really late at night, so I need to call them or connect with them tomorrow in the morning. So then I can go ahead and make a task, set a reminder, and it'll let me know like, hey, you need to follow up, get in touch with Veronica. But then once I want to send a proposal to her, all I have to do is come into, my trips, and maybe you work off of the trip that you actually put into the page. So that same trip, I could actually just copy, because she's already seen this. So she's seen this one and is interested. So I can just create a copy of it, start working right off of this. And then I can actually change the name. So I can say, Veronica, or, and if there's specific things she was asking for, like, maybe just one of these she's not interested in and she told me already, or maybe, it is going to be a family trip. So I'm going to add a couple other ideas here. I can edit and get all this put together. So really easy stuff there. But then one thing that I forgot to do is I'm turning this into a proposal, which you can do by clicking on that trip and then change to proposal. And then when I send this to her, so you can send this just by clicking the send button at the top, and then you can just email it directly to her. Now, what she sees is this. So she can see all of the information. And when she's ready to approve it, she just approves, puts her name, clicks approve. It's that simple. And then it's really exciting because I get a notification letting me know via email that it's been approved. I can now see in my Travefy account as well, I'm able to see, that it was approved. When you do send it directly, in that email, it would come here. I didn't actually do that in this example, but otherwise I would see that actually right in here within Veronica's profile. So I would see all of that there. I would also have that form, that I've sent. So now it's approved. And so now she's good to go. So now the next two steps, the final things that I'll share here is maybe we need to get credit card authorization information. So that way I can start paying the supplier, get that, book the resort, all that good stuff. So what I can do is I can just go ahead and I can just come in her profile, click send form. And then I'll see my forms listed in here, but I can also create a new one. And I can do one that's just credit card authorization here. So really simple. Just a note on when you do credit card authorization, you do have to have two-factor authentication turned on in your account. So if you don't see the option to add credit card authorization, that's just what that means. But otherwise, when you're asking for credit card authorization, you just ask the question and then your response is going to be card authorization. So really simple. But then when you send it to this person, you just are going to click the share button. And then you do have to email it directly to them because you'll have to put in what is the authorization description, what's the amount for, and what is the deadline as well. So pay attention to the deadline too. Make sure that you choose the right authorization deadline, because once that deadline has passed, you'll have to ask for it again if you need it after that. So just watch for that, and then she'll fill it out. Once it's filled out, and then she has sent in her authorization or credit card authorization, it will actually just appear in this form, which I actually have one here. You'll be able to see, and then you can view the details. So when you're ready to expand and you're, on the phone with the supplier or something, or you need them, you can just go ahead and click view details and it opens up their entire card information. So it's really great. And it's also really, really important to note that our credit card authorization is completely PCI compliant and safe and secure. So there's a lot. It's really cool to have, that safe peace of mind, knowing that everything is extremely safe and secure in there. And on that, the other thing that might be happening during all of this is you might be asking for credit card authorization. But if you also are requesting like planning fees or service fees, you can do that in Travefy. And how you do that is you just go into our invoicing area. And to access that, you are just going to click on your name on the top right-hand corner and click invoices. And then right here is where you start creating those invoices. So you can start, just typing in like for Veronica, and then I can say, what's the currency? What's the total? Let's say it's $250. And I'm just going to say, this is my planning fee. I can put a memo if I wanted, and then I can just send it off and she can pay it. And this will pay directly. And so with our invoicing, we connect with Stripe, which is really great. So it's a really easy setup. You just have to create an account with Stripe and set that up. And then that's how you are able, and then you're able to actually collect those fees in here. So again, you can see from the marketing to actually making the sale, closing it, and then getting paid for it and getting all the information that you need to continue booking it. So much there. And I know that was a lot. That was a lot of stuff. I knew that going in. So just so you know, so I am going to be able to get to a lot of questions. So I know that they're coming in, so I'm excited to get to them. But one thing I do want to note too is Travefy.com/support, or if you're in your account, just click the help button in the top right-hand corner and it'll bring you in here. And we have so much stuff ready for you. So we have on-demand tutorials like this webinar recorded in our YouTube channel. We also have shorter videos. We have like a getting started guide that you can check out. But also, if you just want to get one-on-one with our team, we do offer that as well. So you can schedule a one-on-one training with our team, all of that good stuff. And then if you haven't used Travefy yet, just go to Travefy.com and you can start a free 10-day trial and get access to all of this. So you can go and build your pages, see how it can work for you. During that time, recommend getting on a demo, checking everything out, and all that good stuff. So make sure you check that out. Final thing, if you aren't using Travefy, you should get on there so that way you can get in this contest that we have going on. So we have a contest for you because seeing pages is really, really fun. And we want to see what you all create. If you've already created some, or if you're going to be doing it after this, we want to see, and you can win $25 credit to Travefy. And that you can use, towards your subscriptions in the future. And how this works. So first, go to our Facebook page, or go to our Facebook group. So we actually have a Facebook group. It's called the Travefy Official Group. So if you just type in Travefy, you'll see it in there. Go in there. There's a post in there that we have where you can start putting in the note, or in the comments, drop in the URL to the page that you created. And then as you're doing that, go ahead and like all the other ones that you see that you're liking. So literally it is a like for a like. And so then at the end, by June 20th, so next Tuesday, we are going to select the winners, whoever has the most likes, and they're going to get a $25 Travefy credit. How cool. Pretty cool, huh, Scott?
Very cool. Hey, woo! Somebody give this gal a beverage and a moist towel.
Yes. Yes. I know
Awesome.
Everyone else is feeling the same. They're like, oh, geez. It's good.
This is super fun. But before we get to Q&A, I want to embarrass Stephanie just for a moment.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna be proud big brother. So some of you may know this. Some of you may have met Stephanie at conferences and things like that. But June 23rd is Stephanie's birthday.
Yes!
This gal is turning 23 years old.
23.
23. Mm-hmm. You don't look a day over 22,
Oh, actually, so. I still, I do feel, I actually got to add 10 years to that. I'm going to be honest. I was like, should I say?
I wasn't going to say anything. So you just got to let it go. So
33. Yeah.
So I
No,
see
it's
the happy
awesome.
birthday wishes coming in. Jump on the Facebook group, send her a
Thanks.
happy birthday wish, embarrass her, send her an email, all those fun things, or
Yeah.
look her up on Instagram, you know?
Yeah. Find me. It'll be awesome. Thank you, Scott. No, I truly, I'm a big birthday person. And that's also why I'm sad the June month is halfway over, because this whole month I view as
It's the
birthday.
month of Steezy.
So yes, yeah, I like it. Yeah. My husband's like, yes, I've had enough. So thank you. Thank you for the early birthday wishes, everybody.
Well, very, very awesome webinar. Super excited. We have like 13 minutes or so. Maybe we'll go over a
Yep.
few for Q&A. But guys, this is one of my absolute favorite features of Travefy as a landing page builder, because it brings so much together in one place for your
Mm-hmm.
marketing and your ability to sell and to specialize, your ability to streamline what you do with contacts and forms, and bring in your trips and itineraries. It's really, really fun and cool how it all integrates together, and it's only going to get better. As Stephanie mentioned, we've kind of reoriented some of the navigation. We now call it pages, and we put it into the navigation bar. There are reasons for this. We never just flippantly do these changes. We've seen that websites and pages, landing pages, have become a very popular feature within Travefy. So we want to make it easier to find, easier to access, and then there will be more enhancements to come, you know, in future months and stuff with that. So really exciting. We've got some great questions coming in as well. Stephanie, I'm happy to like alternate,
Yeah.
go back and
Sure,
forth.
yeah. Well, I can take one really quick here. Is the because this is one that gets asked a lot, is what type of size or logo should I use on my website? So one, there's a couple tips to this. So you can see like right here, we recommend that it is going to be horizontal, first of all, because then that way it can take up more space this way. And then you can see that bar is never going to get bigger. So you don't, if it's vertical, it's going to be a little harder, a little smushed in there. And then the other things, I would check out that FAQ we posted with the best dimension size. I don't know it off the top of my head, but we have it in there. And then another thing is, I would watch if it still is just like not really looking the way you think it should. Sometimes I would check if there's additional padding around that logo, because sometimes you might have like, let's say it's this big, but then the logo is like right in here and it just needs to be cropped. And so then that way it can expand. But if you're unsure too, let our team know, because sometimes we can take looks at them. I know Bonnie, who's back there, she loves looking at stuff like that because she's like, I think I can fix this. So definitely just let us know if you're like, I feel like that's not fitting the way it should. So let us know. But those are our tips.
Yeah. So a few questions came in that I'll take on this. Is there a way to save the header and footer to be the same on every page without having to recreate it each time? Great question. Now here's a quick tip on the best way to do this. Create a template landing page or a template page for your website, or a template landing page that has your logo and any navigation elements. Pro tip, if you're building a landing page, there shouldn't be a lot of navigation elements built into it. The standard footer and any other kind of standardized sections that you want in it. And then that is your template. And as Stephanie pointed out, you can use that copy button to copy that out so you don't have to rebuild those things in there. So just a quick tip and workaround for that. Another quick question, is there a limit to how many pages you can build at a time? There's no limit on pages. So you can build as many pages as you want. Maybe you're working multiple different groups, or we've actually seen some travel advisors that use landing pages as their proposals, which is kind of cool, which means you might be building a lot of landing pages in there. So there's no current limit on how many pages that you build.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I think that's what's so incredible about this is doing that. And that's a good tip too. You can see that I created that template page here. And then you can just always keep copying off of that to have that header in there as well. So Cynthia asked, how do we connect the landing page to our website that we built on Travefy? So what you're going to do is you're really just going to get that URL. So that URL, so in here, so if you do have a website that's outside of Travefy, what you're going to do is you're just going to get that URL that's in your settings. And then on your website builder, just however you are able to add an external link, that's what you'll do. You'll just add that, make it go to this link right here. If your website page is on Travefy, you can connect it just right in here. So like, let's say this one right here, let's just say this is my main page right here. So if I wanted to add this like to the top, like on the navigation, I could just click in there, and then I can add an item, and then I can make it a button or like a link. And then I actually can choose that I want it to go to another page. And it'll pull up all of my pages in here. And then I can just go ahead and like Cancun. And of course, this would look much prettier, but you can see though, as an example of that's how it's linking there. So if you're doing it with Travefy, you can do it that way, or you just are just getting that external link and basically connecting it that way.
Stephanie, follow-up question to exactly what you were showing right there.
Yes.
So that's how to link to pages within your Travefy site. But what if you need to add other types of links? Like, for example, maybe your website is somewhere else, and that's your official website, and you're just using Travefy for landing pages. How do you link to that as well? Donald had a great question. Hey, I have a Viator affiliate link. How could I add that to my landing page or website? So how do you add links that you can use for a lot of different purposes?
Yeah, so there's a couple ways. So if you just want to put like let's say you want to put like a home button that goes back to your website, you can just come right up here. And then again, I would just add that in here, and then I would just put a link, and then I could just do an external link right there. And then I can just put home page, or whatever, how you want to put it that way. So that's how you would do that. If you want to add a link like you have Viator, you could do that up there the same way. But the other thing that's really cool, like let's say right here, this tours and excursions, you could add a link. You could add a link right in here. So you could put it in this note section. You can say book with, and I know that I'm misspelling things, but that's okay. So I'm just going to highlight that, and then you can add a link right in there by clicking that URL button. Or another cool thing, you can click add button. So you can add a button. Remember how I mentioned this, that you can add a button anywhere in here, or like connect to forms or other links. And then you can click page section. You would choose external link for the Viator. And then you can put in that URL right there, and then you would just label the button however you want. Like I'll just say Viator, and I'm going to put travefy.com. So we'll just put that. And then that's all you would do to link that. So hopefully that makes sense. Is there a better way? Or I think that would be all the best.
Yeah, just using those external links.
Yeah.
Cool. No, that's great. So a couple questions that's a little bit outside of the topic of the webinar, but we did cover some of this of credit card authorizations, and some questions on how can they use credit card authorizations, especially in the context if they use a host agency. Now, to give everyone a little bit of background, each state in the US, as well as province within Canada, is different. Even countries outside the US and Canada are different in how you have to handle this. So, main thing that I want you to take away from what I'm about to say, if you're not sure or you don't know what I'm talking about, talk to your host agency. Ask them what the rules are. I'm going to answer this in the context of the US, but some of this applies also to Canadian provinces. If you live in a certain state that has seller of travel laws, you may not be able to charge the fee yourself because you are not connected. You do not have the seller of travel license or number attached to you. And so that's when you can still use Travefy's credit card authorization to collect the payment information, but the payment has to be processed by your host agency. That's not our rules. Those are your state's laws and regulations. So keep that in mind. Those are laws. Those are actual laws. So talk to your host agency if you're unclear about that. Now, if your state doesn't have those rules, you can use Travefy's invoicing tool for payment processing. Now, I want to mention one thing. There are lots of services and tools out there, even in the travel advisor space, that just offer any type of payment you want to charge. And I caution you big time, be very careful with those services, because they're giving you tools that allow you to do anything, and it may not be legal to do that based off of where you live. So watch out for that in there. But more than anything, talk to your host agency or reach out to your industry trade association like an ASTA or an ACTA for more information on any of those.
Yeah. Very, very important things. And it's kind of the funny thing, as I was going through it, I'm like, I'm breezing through, but there's important knowledge to know about those. But it's so cool that you can do everything, in that one place, which is really awesome. Let's see. I'm looking for another question here. So we did the saving, a limited Uh,
So here's one from
okay,
Judy.
cool.
I need to update my logo. Can I do
Oh,
that myself? Yes. So anything in your website or pages within Travefy, as well as your profile within Travefy, you can update any of those logos. You don't have to reach out to us. Travefy tries to always build anything to be self-service, so nothing's locked and that you can't update it or change it. So just know, kind of thinking about that context, that frame of reference, we always try to make it very easy and accessible for you to update.
mm-hmm. One that I just saw as well that was really big is a couple people are asking, like, can you remove or like hide pages basically after you create them? And you can. So if you've published one and then you don't want to be published anymore, you want to hide it, all you do is come in the settings and then click hidden for the visibility. And then that will do that. So that'll take care of that for you.
Yep. And Jessica had a great question. This is frequently overlooked. What is the cost for hosting a website or pages on Travefy? And this is very often overlooked. There's no additional cost. Travefy offers a monthly or annual subscription fee. The monthly subscription fee is $39 per month. The annual, you get an additional discount. That's $31 per month. So we include that in it at no additional cost. Now, I mention this pretty frequently on our website and landing page webinars. I come from a marketing background. Believe me, I know how much it costs to host and have a good quality host, to host your website, or to have a landing page tool that's drag and drop and really easy to use. Minimum for something high quality, you're going to be spending $15 to $20 a month. And for a professional tool, you will be spending $50 to $80 a month just for a landing page tool. Travefy is giving you that included at no additional cost. So it's a really high value add to the package.
Oh yeah. Big time. So awesome. There's two things that I saw too. One person had asked, like, can you add, how many forms can you attach? You can attach as many as you want. So that's where it's really cool, where you have the different buttons. So like if you want to put a button here, you want to put in, button call to action wherever you want. You can put as many as you want in there. And then this is also probably one of the biggest things to clarify. So Ryan just asked, wait, there's a website and pages within Travefy. Yes. So that's where hopefully we are helping by changing. That's why part of the reason also by changing the name to pages, because we want you to think of this as like, okay, they're just pages. You can choose to link them all together and create one website with it, or you can just have them stand alone. So that's the difference. And apologies for like confusions on that, because I know it can get really confusing, but basically, yes, you can do both. That's also why this is super cool. Love it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
One final question. Can you add multiple theme colors on your page? The answer to that is we only allow or offer one primary brand color or theme color to select now. There has been a few discussions and pieces of feedback that it would be great if we could offer more. So that is something that we're talking about or exploring in the future. With the website builder, with Pages, the new name for it, you have to understand Travefy is not just trying to be another website builder out there. There are literally thousands of them. What we're trying to do is create something that's so simple, you can literally start your Travefy account, and within 15 or 20 minutes, you already have a landing page or website set up. We're trying to keep it really, really simple. So we're purposefully not packing in everything in the kitchen sink into it. So there are some things like that, but we will be adding enhancements. So I want you to hear that as well, that we're always looking at new enhancements and updates, but we really let our customer feedback guide that process in there. So send us your feedback through the live chat in your account. We also share all the Q&A and chat from our webinars with our product and design team so that they can go through it and really hear what you're asking for and what your questions are.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one last thing too, I know we're at time, but I do want to mention also, because someone just asked too, like, are there best practices for creating a landing page or just creating these standalone pages? And I would say take a look at like the examples that we have and the examples, especially that other people share. Always think best, keep it simple, but we do have a video. If you go to our support center and then go to our YouTube page, we have a video that we did that was a little similar, but where we really built the whole thing out. And we called it the anatomy of a landing page. And I really like that because it was just taking like 4 to 5 elements that have things, all, specific stuff on them. And it's simple, but is good. And so highly recommend that. And also for, if I saw another question of like, how do I just build a website? Also go to these videos. We have a short one too. We have, if you go to our getting started guide, we have ones that are just about just web, like if you're viewing this as your website or, different stuff. So I definitely recommend check that out. Same with SEO. I know people are asking about that. I would look at that FAQ videos. And we do have that stuff out there, which is nice. So yeah, I think we did it. I know it was a lot, everybody. So let us know what questions. Apologies if we didn't get to your questions. I know that there's still some of them out there that we weren't able to get to, but just follow up with our team, our support team. We'll be happy to get those answered for you there. And but also, again, I'll have this video up on our YouTube channel probably in just a couple hours, so you'll be able to check it out. But I want to see those pages though. I'm so curious. I'm so excited to see what people create. So go to our Facebook group and drop in the links to your pages in there. And yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be an early birthday celebration.
And even if you don't have a page to share, head over to the Facebook group, make sure you join the group, but then check out others' landing pages for inspiration and give them some likes to help them win a $25 credit and stuff, and comment on them. Tell people what you like about their landing pages. It'll be a lot of fun to check out.
Yeah, that's awesome. So thank you so much, everybody. We will see you again soon, and let us know what questions we can help answer in the meantime.
All right. Have a great day, everyone.
See ya.
See ya.